दुनिया की
What
दिग्गज
was the
महिला
second question?
क्रिकेटरों में शुमार मिताली राज ने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय करियर में 22 साल पूरे कर लिए हैं। वह महान खिलाड़ी
See,
सचिन
we
तेंदुलकर
look
के
very
बाद इस खास
positive
उपलब्धि को हासिल
going
करने
into the
वाली
World Cup.
दूसरी
Clearly, as I
क्रिकेटर
said,
बनी
that
हैं।
the
सचिन का
way the
वनडे
girls
अंतर्राष्ट्रीय
performed in
करियर
the test to
22
save the
साल
test game has
91 दिन
added a
का
lot
रहा
of
था।
confidence to the unit. And England is a very
मिताली
good
राज ने
side,
26 जून
you know,
1999 में
one of the best sides in the
आयरलैंड के
world.
खिलाफ पहला
And
वनडे मैच
playing
खेला
them at
था।
home definitely
आज
will
वनडे
have the
इंटरनेशनल करियर में
advantage. But having
उनके
said that,
22 साल
we
पूरे
have
हो गए।
players who've played leagues here in England. We will be gathering a lot of information
मिताली राज
from
का
them
प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस
about
सुनिए।
how to
मिताली राज ने
prepare
युवा
against the
बल्लेबाजों
England
का
squad,
जमकर
and
तारीफ
that
की।
definitely will help us, do well in the one-day series.
Karunya Keshav.
Hi, Mithali. There's been a lot of talk today about how it's the anniversary of your debut, 22 years since you made your debut on this day. So, firstly, has there been any sort of celebration within the team ahead of the game tomorrow? And second, you mentioned how you've been close to retiring a few times, you've had injuries. With the benefit of hindsight, what advice would you have given to that 16-year-old Mithali?
Well, I think we just arrived for our session, so clearly we haven't thought of celebrating it. We have an important game tomorrow, and it feels nice to get up to messages congratulating me on this career. And if I have to give a message to a 16-year-old, I would say just enjoy getting onto the ground for the first time representing your country, which clearly at that time I didn't. Probably the expectations were so heavy on my shoulders that I really didn't get the opportunity to understand the importance of that, wearing the blue jersey and playing for the country. So that is something I would say the 16-year-old Mithali.
Yeah, it seems Indian team always enjoys chasing the winning target. But is it really tough to defend our total? If so, are there any specific reasons for it?
Well, see, we have defended totals in the past. We do have the bowling attack to do that. The current bowling attack, especially the spinners, over the years have won matches for us, irrespective of which wicket that we've played, whether it's Australia, New Zealand, or even in England. Even 2017 World Cup, there have been games where the bowlers have done well, where we have defended targets. So it's not like we are not that good as a team to defend targets, but it is all depends on how as a team we put on a total if we bat first, or if we have a total to defend, how do we rise to the occasion to sort of perform on that particular day. It all boils down to the rhythm and the timing of the batters and the bowlers.
Mithali, with Shefali's addition in the ODI squad, can we expect to get off to a great start utilizing the field section and go full throttle tomorrow?
Well, see, that's her. That's how she plays. That's her strength. That's her style of batting. And there will be times when she'll give us a head start, and we would love that to be consistent. But at the same time, she's a young kid. She will learn with experience. With more matches, she will be able to sort of understand how to build an innings also. But since she's getting into playing the one-day format for the first time, I, as a captain, would always encourage her to play the way she enjoys playing. She's comfortable playing. That's the style of batting she should do. And we as experienced batters in the middle order will be able to sort of, if we lose early wicket, we are there to sort of compensate and build an innings. And if she gives us a great start, we take from there. So that's, a team does have the, batting depth where, everybody have a different role to play. So we look forward to sticking to that role and sort of give our best in playing that role.
Yes, Sudarshan, then Anisha, and then Snehal.
And Mithali, team bowling all-rounder is an interesting topic in Indian cricket across gender, and for the women's team, especially after Rumeli-Dhar, there's almost been a void of that kind. So how is Pooja Vastrakar the one who is kind of emerged stronger after her fitness issues? How does she stand in this team, and your thoughts on that?
See, we do have an all-rounder. Deepthi has been part of the team for a good 4-5 years. We do have Sneha Rana now, another bowler who can really bat in the lower order. Yes, Pooja can be very handy, a seamer with a good intent to bat. But again, it comes to the composition of the team. So we sometimes, despite the current thing is that you need to have more all-rounders in the side, but there will be times, there will be roles or positions in the team where you need to have some purist in the team who can take the the responsibility. So I would say that it is good to have her in the team, but it then gets down to how we are going to work a combination, especially on a track like in Bristol.
Hi, Mithali. Anisha here. A couple of questions for you. The first one being from the test.
Anisha,
Could
sorry,
you
we'll
walk us
be able
through-
to take one question.
Okay. Mithali, could you walk us through what exactly transpired in the closing minutes of that final day in terms of the play coming to a stop? Was it bad light? Was it the umpire's decision? Was it Heather offering you the draw? Because the context being Sneh Rana being close to her century, Tanya close to her half century, and there were about 13 overs still left for the day's play. So what exactly happened in those closing minutes, please?
Well, see, we wanted to continue the play, and that's what been informed to the opposite captain, and they continued. But then I was told by Sneha Rana, because even I was a little, on a back foot when I saw the bails coming out and they were walking out. So I asked her what happened. So she said that it was a bad light call taken by the umpire, and that's what they were told. But then I saw that both the teams were congratulating. So the umpire told that since both the teams were congratulating, so it's pretty much taken that the match is over. So that's what I was told by Sneha Rana. So that's what happened.
Yes, Sneha.
All right, thanks, sir.
Hi, Mithali. Firstly, congrats on 22 years. Through most of that career, you batted at either 3 or 4. Recently, more at 4. Personally, how do you feel about those two positions? And especially leading up to a World Cup, how flexible are you between those two positions at this stage of your career?
Well, I think that I've scored a lot of runs at number 3, and I started as an opener, but I came to number 3 and then to number 4. But when you've played a lot at number 3, you can really be very flexible. I have been very flexible. In fact, if you take my career graph in terms of the slots that I've played, maybe till number 8, 9 I've played. I've got an opportunity to bat at every order. So I think at this stage of my career, I would say that I'm comfortable whether it's number 3 or number 4. My batting revolves a lot more around the situation on the ground and how I counter that and how I keep my team in the best position possible. So that has always been my approach, and whether I go at number 3 or number 4, that's how I prepare myself.
Vivek Krishnan and Gaurav Gupta, between the two of you, if whoever wants to go.
Hi, Mithali. Mithali, what I wanted to ask was, with the World Cup in New Zealand in 7-8 months' time, do you think the conditions in England are very similar to New Zealand? And if yes, then do these matches, do you think it will provide a good measure of how the players will shape up in New Zealand, given that the conditions tend to be similar?
Well, see, New Zealand is still more windier than England, and I wouldn't say similar conditions, but more or less, I guess, the wickets there are far better because the last time that we played in New Zealand, it was a good one-day series, and I think that our preparation definitely has started, but it's important that when we get into a series, we always look to win. Yes, we consider that also as a game time for the core players or the combination that we would like to try or looking at, the run up to the World Cup. Having said that, it's important for us to win a game, win a series, because the last series has not really gone very well for the Indian team, and as a captain, I would like the team to get back to the winning ways.
Yeah. Last 3 now, Rika Roy, Bharat, and then Vinayak.
Hi, Mithali. Good morning. Basically, what I wanted to ask you is, what would you say has been the biggest difference that you've seen in this team and the transition? Would you say it's the mental toughness, hanging in there in the key moments of the game and not giving it up? Is that the difference from the past to the youngsters who are coming up now?
Well, see, I would say that the application has been there from the young side, especially for the girls who are playing this format test for the first time and touring England for the first time. But we do have players like the leagues around the world has given a lot of exposure to the players because they play with different international players, the culture and the way they train, different coaches they come under. So these things do really help the players to sort of add more dimensions, I would say, to their game, to their preparation towards a match, and hang around with the best players in the world. I think that really gives you a lot more of knowledge how to go about your own game. And for that, if you're exposed to that sort of a culture at a very young age, it really helps you to develop the confidence when you face a situation like that for which you are not probably experienced enough, like in terms of the format. You've not played many games, but suddenly you are sort of facing a situation, a challenging situation. That's how these girls stood up and delivered.
Final two questions.
Hello, this is Bharat from Quick Bus. What are your thoughts on the competition for the top order slots? Especially that could be stiff competition for the number 3 position. And Sneha Rana also coming into the equation. So happy headaches for the management.
Well, healthy competition is always good in the team. But having said that, we pick the team based on the composition. Again, I would say that it's important, and the girls also understand that. There are times when we go with an extra seamer depending on the wicket, and times we go with a spin dominant bowling attack. So accordingly, we try and see into a batting order, batting depth as well. So I would say that with the equation of the all-rounders coming in, and we'll definitely look into it. Yes, we do have few options, and but we will select based on what composition the team is looking at getting into tomorrow's game.
Final one now.
Good afternoon, Mithali. Congrats on 22 years in international cricket. My question to you is, you mentioned briefly about the South Africa series and how that didn't go according to plan. What are the discussions looking forward to this ODI series that were as a result of what happened in South Africa series? In terms of batting and fielding especially, we saw the BCCI put out a video about a new fielding drill competition between the players and all that. So has that been discussed? And in terms of batting approach, we saw that 250 was chased down easily by South Africa. So is there a discussion to find the boundaries more often? What sort of takeaways have been there from the South Africa series in those two aspects?
See, I think the biggest thing that we would want the team to do well is to have a very strong mindset, because we can't really compare the series. Yes, we lost the home series, but the conditions are very different at home and in England. So we can't have the same approach. But yes, we definitely look into having a more positive intent, whether it is batting or whether it's a bowling attack. And we have been working on our fielding. So I would say that right now it's important that whatever strategies or what we try to sort of work in during our training sessions is something we would like to carry it into the match and be consistent in that.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.